The funny thing is maybe it's not funny, but it's kind of unique. Is everybody's all riled up about what Trump's been doing with Supreme Court, trying to get the election, this and that, and the thing is that's the response that he wants, I believe, and I think he's only doing it to make a point so that something changes later on. That's what I think. And I think that is going to come full circle, actually, I believe, is what I believe is going to happen, actually. Uh, there people were talking, what if he doesn't leave? Well, what if he doesn't leave? What if another president doesn't leave? See what I'm saying? So there's a little merit to it, actually, I think, is what kind of what I think in my opinion, the point he's trying to make is, yeah, he's going to leave, guys. He wants to go to Florida with his beautiful wife and play golf and, say he was president. It's pretty simple. Now, I believe he did. If you look at, the columns, he did a fairly good job. Now, I disagree with the way he did some of the things. He didn't, he's never had to choose between paying a light bill or putting food on the table. That's the problem. You know, um, when you own a helicopter, paying the light bill is the least of your worries. You know, and when you're president, he has to pay for stuff though. As president, he has to pay for like food and different things. People don't realize that actually. It comes out of his own pocket. You don't get everything for free like everybody thinks. But you'd have to fact check that if you want. But I know there's some merit to it. I read about it a long time ago. And, what he did with the embargo with China, you know, the farmers here in Nebraska, the last thing I read was we were going to be like, it was going to hurt us like $2 billion was going to be the hurt it was putting on the farmers here in Nebraska. And here's the problem with that. As farms are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the small farmer is going by the wayside. And, you know, surely people told him that China would quit buying our grains if we did that. And he still did it. Now, I understand it had to be done, okay? We can't let them run over us like that. But he could have gave them, like some time. I mean, he gave them a little time, but not enough time. So I understand why they did what they did. They had warehouses full of electronics that they were going to ship that now they can't ship. So what are they going to do? They're going to hit us below the belt and not buy our grain from us. And the farmers suffered severely from that because it made us have all this extra grain. So then the grain prices go down. Now Trump threw a couple billion in there to try to help the farmer a bit. And I did a little figuring one time when it first came out, the billions that he was given, and it was all public. I figured up the acres in Lincoln County and what have you. And I have a friend that's a small farmer, and I told him that he'd probably be lucky to get like $50. You know what I'm saying? So, but the bigger farmer, of course, would get more, but they're able to handle fluctuations more because they got bigger facilities. They got grain bins, you know, stuff like that where they can hold on to stuff for a while and wait for prices to come up and then unload it. And they got trucks. And where this small farmer, he's hauling it right from the field to the elevator and selling it because he's got to pay the bank. Where the bigger guy, he's got a little more weight to throw around. He can kind of, yeah. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting with Trump and all. It's just funny we haven't heard nothing about this embargo. I don't even know if it's going on now or if it's not, or I haven't heard nothing. I haven't seen nothing on the news about it. Maybe I need to go do a little research on that, actually. See what the embargo's doing. Now, somebody said our gross domestic product was going up, actually. I heard that, actually. That's good news for the economy, but, you know, when you have... I seen a guy that he paid, like, the disconnect fees for people down in Florida for, like, 150-some people, you know? Come to, like, $7,000 or something. 11 grand maybe, but you know, that's what we're faced with. You know, what's going to happen when all these people have to move out or get evicted? It's going to be a sad day. People are, you know, you can't... Restaurants are limiting how many people they can have in, so that's hurting waitresses' tips and stuff, you know. I don't know if they're still doing that now, but they were for a while, you know. But people were living paycheck to paycheck before this happened, and I don't know what people are doing now. I bet people are really scared. It's unfortunate that in the United States of America, the richest country in the nation, the richest countries in the world, that people are 30 days away from a disconnect on their utilities. That should never happen. That should never happen. Not in the USA. It's bad enough that kids go to bed hungry. You know, people say, oh, we got to cut the food stamps. No, don't cut the food stamps. Those people need those food stamps. Now, there probably is a little abuse. There's abuse with everything. Kids need their food, man. Don't cut the food stamps. Kids going to school should have free meals. Not feeding a kid because his parents can't, because he falls. Sometimes parents fall between the gray matter to where they don't qualify for a reduced meal or free meal, yet they can't afford the meal for their child to pay it weekly. And they can't afford to buy groceries because they make too much for food stamps, so they can't afford all the sandwich making stuff. So then they go to the food pantry, but then you can only go so many times, and there's really not a lot there you can really take as a lunch, you know. So I feel really bad, actually, for, you know, if I ever become a billionaire. If I ever become a billionaire, there's a couple things I'm going to do. First off, my city, all the kids are going to eat free lunches. I'm going to pay for them. And second off, I'm going to pay the bail for people that I don't know on little minor things when they shouldn't be in jail but can't afford to get out. And they won't let them work on work release. And I'm not going to want anything in return but a thank you, if even a thank you. When I become a billionaire, when I get enough members, subscribers on this YouTube channel, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to help people more than I help people now. I just got to figure out how to become a billionaire. There you go. Buy something for $1, sell it for $2.